Welcome to Shank Exploration. Well, the question everyone's been wondering, is the Jawjacker really worth double the money of everyone else? We're going to directly compare these two today and see what the differences is. This one's $78.99 regular price at Cabela's, and this one is $36.99 regular price. Amazon and a lot of small stores you find the Celsius. So we're going to directly compare these and see which one you think is best. Let's start off with the Celsius. So now the Celsius is pretty basic packaging, nothing too fancy about it. But right off the bat, it says it's actually called an Auto Tamer, just because Jawjacker does have the name to that name brand. Solid aluminum frame, adjustable locking rod setting, and adjustable rod trigger. Corrosion resistant, spiked feet for firm grip on ice. Now, the first thing I like is that it is aluminum. It's an all aluminum body with hard plastic on each end. So that's really nice. So it folds up nice and compact. Has a cover for the end. So that's kind of nice. You're not filling that with snow and stuff all the time. That is your actual trigger mechanism, which we'll dive into more. Nice easy cover to put back on. That plops into place, then you lock her in. Now your cover's not going anywhere. Now, one thing I do like is it has the adjustable trigger mechanism. So your max height, that's your max height. And then you can go all the way down to a super light trigger. Well, that's folded. But I've actually been running this one now for about a month. And I got to say, it's been great. I've caught perch on it, pike on it, burbot on it. It's been fantastic. And mattering what species I go after, I just set it to how hard I want to hit. So max is where you run pike. You want that really good jolt. When I'm running like perch, I run it, the third hole. And it's great. So, how does this work? Well, so we're going to get into how they work here in a second. First, let's open the Jawjacker. Now the Jawjacker, right off the bat, comparing to the Celsius, it is a little bit shorter and more compact. So if you're walking out all the time, that might be an advantage. Second thing, it is just all plastic. It's one solid plastic looking frame. These are steel, but that's about it. The Jawjacker is a new ice fishing device that sets the hook for you. Catch more fish with the Jawjacker. Very sensitive trigger, lightweight and compact, made of tough ABS plastic. So it's just plastic. So let's open it up and see what we think. Well, definitely an extra $40 just for the packaging alone. You gotta remember that. Oh, so close. So I've ran the Jawjackers before. They are a nice setup. I've never actually owned one myself, but I've ran them. So it is definitely all plastic. They're about the same weight. Now, similar setup, you can choose how hard or how soft you want to activate. You only have 3 settings on the Jawjacker. So setting 3, 2, and then your lightest setting. Now, this guy here slides in and out, which is kind of flimsy. I don't really like that. Not a fan of the flimsiness there, but so you set it to whatever rod length you're running. We're going to set it to longest because I think that'll work for my long rod. I'm not 100% sure. But that's a rod I use with my other one. Now legs fold out. You got your nice pegs. They jam into the ice to help hold it secure. Those click back. And yeah, it's definitely all plastic, but everyone seems to love them. So, see what it looks like with a rod in it. So as you can tell, it's the one I always use, just because this rod might be too long for this. So, I put the 34-inch rod in there, and yeah, as you can see, I actually had to curl it right back, which I don't like. You're supposed to have it so it comes out and straight down, and bend straight down to it. So, I'm just going to show you how this triggers, and I'm thinking this is going to be aggressive. So, we're going to grab something to poke it. So how these work is when they pull on your line, we're going to set up another rod and try a shorter rod. I'm thinking like a 26 might be about perfect. It's a little too, I think 34 is too long. I don't like that. So let's get another rod set up and try to check this out again. We reset up with a 28-inch rod. The other one was a 34-inch rod. It was too long for the Jawjacker. So now we're at our max length, and we're running a 28-inch rod, which, as you can see, is perfectly bent down. So the max rod you'd want to run on this is a 28-inch rod, in my opinion. Any further than that, you're overbending the rod, which isn't good for your rod, and your rod's not going to last as long. So we are going to now compare directly to the Celsius, because I run my 34-inch rod on that one all the time and absolutely love it. And then we're going to head out to the ice and try both these out, see how they both compare. So now, the Celsius. Is it worth the $37? Or is it just a gimmick of the Jawjacker? But it is half the price of the Jawjacker. So first thing first, really like it's all aluminum. It's still got the same thick plastic. Yeah, they're about the same. And got a nice cover. Now you can see it extends out really far. Clip that in. Got both your legs that come out. And you still have your ice pegs. Now, on the Celsius, everything trigger-wise is the exact same. It's an exact copy of the Jawjacker. That flips over, that flips into place. Now, I know this one will hold my 34-inch rod because that's the rod I always run on this one. So there we go. So that's a 34-inch rod sitting in there. As you can see, it sits perfectly and holds it just fine. They both have the exact same purpose. Setting them up, they're both really nice and easy. Super simple setups. Both fold away nice. Honestly, in that way, they are identical. There's just a few differences between them. Now, if you know me, I like cheaper options if the quality's there. And in my opinion so far, Celsius has a quality beat. I can run all the way down to a 22-inch rod and up to a 34, where you can shorten the Jawjacker right up, but I wouldn't recommend going over a 28-inch rod. You're really starting to get a bend back on that, and I'm not a fan of that. So, yeah. Let's check them out side by side. So, side-by-side comparison, both of them in line. You can see that we got some drunk legs going on here, first of all. So you can see that you line up where the rod sits, lined up, and see how much longer the Celsius is. So Celsius has a wider capability for rods. It is also about an inch wider on each side for stability. The only thing it does lack is it doesn't shrink up as small, but it does shrink up faster. Check this out. One button, you're done. Fold the legs, and off to your next fishing hole. With this one, you of course still have click in these. Fold your legs down, pull both pins, slide that down, slide that inside, which then allows you to pop that one in. This pin goes above, and I will say that stores up super nice. That is a very nice little setup for, especially if you're just packing in somewhere. You can fit that anywhere. Now the Celsius, once you pull this pin, you then lock it in, and it is, of course, longer because it's also a little wider too. So there's your comparison front to back. Those are things you're going to want to consider. I do like the aluminum body to this one, especially when it's riding in the sled and everything else. I'm not so worried about it getting broken. But the new ABS materials, they handle great. So let's hit the ice, see how these things do. Well, we got our limited bourbon today. Got a really nice one and then not so bad one. So got out with the Jawjackers today. Managed to get hooked up, one on each. So the Celsius for $36.99 or the Jawjacker for $78.99. Now I gotta say, they both do the exact same thing, have the exact same function, and work identical. So for my personal opinion, I'd buy another Celsius. Hands down, you can buy two of these to one of these. Being a family man with kids that fish, I'll be buying more of these. This way the kids, they can easily, I can help them set it up. They can hook up the fish and away they go. Because I can buy two of these to one of these. But they both do the exact same thing and both are great products. So whichever one you wish to buy, it's the one to go for because it'll get you on more fish.